Folks, it's Eric Lima here, and you're watching episode 476 of my YouTube show known as The People's Lima. How's everyone going out there? How's everyone doing out there? Today I want to talk about the year that had made a huge change in my life, the year that made it was a life-altering year. I want to talk about the year of 1995. Now the year started off very innocently, January, February went by. It was a slow day. I was in school for the winter and all that good stuff and everything else. So I was homeschooled. But then, March, I turned 18. My parents took me out to Ruby Tuesday. That's the restaurant of my choice I have taken. And it's been, like I said, it was a nice restaurant. Who would have thought that 3 months later, I'd be working at that place? Unbelievable, right? Well, continuing on, in April, we moved to the north end of Bedford after being for 15 years living in the west end of Bedford. My keys. Living in the west end of Bedford, 7 blocks away from Buntwood Park for about 15 years, growing up there, my childhood home. Moved to the north end of Bedford, and I had problems living there, living in the place before. And which is my current home. I'm trying to pack up everything while I'm trying to talk here. Always trying to think. So anyways, the current place I'm living now, at first I had a problem living in that place and I clashed with my parents a couple of times, ran away from home a couple of times. I never liked the place first time around, but then as time grew, I got a job, working at Ruby Tuesday, and I'm trying to get used to that and used to meeting new people, making new friends, and everything else, and working with the coworkers that, quite frankly, didn't believe in the Lord and didn't, working out in the world is pretty tough when you're, my position being a born-again Christian. But I had problems also in my church where the girl that I had a crush on, Paulette, ended up dating one of my good friends at the time, and I totally lost it there. And I snapped and got really upset with them. It got to the point where I accused both of them of stabbing me in the back. But then like I said, after all that, I had to go see a psychiatrist, which wasn't fun, but I had to step out of work one time to see that psychiatrist, which, I'll be honest with you, never wanted to step out of work ever. And I always felt that work always kept my mind off things going on outside at home and all that. The old saying, don't bring your work home. Don't bring your home to work, And, so quite frankly, it's been over the years, I have not spoken to either my friend Ruben or my friend Paulette in 21 years. It's been very long now. And it's, like I said, it's been a surreal year working at a job, moving to a new home. Everything has changed. Everything has changed and everything else. But as time grew on from that year, I progressed in a lot of situations, and I'm getting my license 4 years after that. I, ended up working full-time over at Ruby Tuesday, graduated in 96, high school in 96. And I gotta tell you, like I said, it's been very, very surreal. Even if I go back to the old neighborhood, every time I go back there, it's like I get nostalgic. It's like it used to be a crazy neighborhood with all a bunch of kids. We play baseball, imitate the Red Sox, and players watch and they play Nintendo, trade up baseball cards, garbage pail kids cards, buying them and stuff, and play hide and seek, play basketball, play football. I got my next door neighbor blasting his rap music, and everybody screaming and yelling at each other. Meeting new neighbors, it's like all these things are happening, and then everybody starts moving out one by one. I think once me and my family left that area, I went back there a couple of times. It's been the quietest neighborhood ever. It's been very, very quiet. I don't know if anybody in the neighborhood has any kids in the neighborhood nowadays. It used to be a fun neighborhood to play. Every time we, play baseball, and all of a sudden we had to yell car. We all move out of the way, this good stuff, and just and so like everything takes me back. Everything just takes me back to those days, and just like I said, 1995 was a life altering year. And we ended up moving to a new home that year. I ended up having a job that year. I lost my crush that year, and just everything. Everything has changed, and I was trying to get used to the workplace, and management's been changing there too, and trying to get the right management team to come along. And we had it for a while, and ended up working there full time about a couple of years later. And I never wanted to quit Ruby Tuesday, and because I enjoyed working there, I enjoyed working with the people there, and everything else is like, oh boy, just so I think that kept my mind off the Paulette situation, the fiasco that I had to go through for that. And it worked out for the better. Everything has worked out very, very well. And you know, nowadays, like I said, nowadays a lot of changes are happening. They've been happening. A lot of changes happen with my family. And it's like nowadays I'm thankful for what I have, and I'm thankful for my family. And like I said, despite clashing with my parents over the years, um, nowadays it's like I'm doing my and letting them do their thing. When they let me know what's going on, I let them know what's that way I want to make sure they let me know what's going on. That way I'd be well aware. I don't want to make any mistakes and all that. And I'm sure because we have an understanding now, even though I live with them and we're adults and everything else, I live in their basement. Everybody makes a joke about, oh, you live in your mom's basement, blah 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 blah. But you know what? I'm thankful I have a roof over my head, because the fact is, it had not been, like I said again, if I had not been for my family, especially my mom and dad, I wouldn't be where I am today. You know, some people think that some people have a problem like living in your parents' basement is like supposed to be shameful or something like that. To me, I'm just thankful I have a to me I'm just thankful that I have a roof to live under for a while. You know, and seeing these people handling homeless people, it makes me feel thankful even more. If I could, I wish I could give them money, but they're gonna, if you give them money, you're gonna unknowingly feed into their habits, and that's what or their addictions. Even that's what we need to be careful. Like, I'm hoping to get a place to live, and instead of feeding, if you feed your addiction, like drugs and alcohol, now you're gonna end up out in the streets, and, broken, no money whatsoever, and that's really sad. But like I said, looking back in 1985, from here to now, I'm thankful. I'm very, very thankful of the friends that I made. I'm thankful for everything that's happened to me in my life, whether good or bad, because the bad things you can learn from. All right, the good things you want to keep that momentum going. That's the thing. The bad things I learned from, the good things, it's great. So you'll always learn. Learn from your mistakes. It's been the big thing for me. It's learning from my mistakes. And so I am very thankful for, for my father to make the move from one house to another back in '95. I'm thankful, for my mother's passion for foster kids, because when the family's been growing, I've always wanted brothers and sisters when I was the only child back then, and I ended up getting a stepsister. I ended up getting a brother, and then all of a sudden now it's evolved and expanded. So maybe back then I didn't feel comfortable with. Now I'm thankful for it. So that's been the way it was. So thankful that I moved. Thankful, I'm thankful I have everything that I wanted and needed and everything else. So, like I said, I should be very thankful. So looking back at 1995, it was an up and down year. It was a decent year. In fact, that was the last time also that I went to Rocky Point with my church youth group back in 19. That was the last time, because after that, Rocky Point was closed down for good. So that was a big thing for me. So, because Rocky Point was one of my favorite music parks back in the day. I used to go there with the Latchkey program when, back in the 80s. I went 3 times in the 80s, once in 1990. That was in the 80s. I went with my church friends. They all went up Rocky Point, had a good time. I went also went to Rock. It was so. I don't know how to explain it. Seriously, I do not know how to explain it. I'm just thankful that everything is cool. So it's all the time we have on this show. As you know, to my family, relatives, and friends, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for showing the love and support. And remember, coolness is the essence of a happy person. I'll see you guys later. God bless, peace, and have a great day.